Chris is a young man that came to me initially with a diagnosis of shoulder avascular necrosis. And what that is when the bone dies in the shoulder, the bone collapses, leaving patients with very debilitating pain and very limited range of motion and function.
Which basically slowly started to fracture it. So I went to see Dr. Simovich, and he was able to do a special procedure. I was only the second client he'd ever done it on, and it was called a total shoulder with a rotator cuff sparing approach, which means he did a whole entire complete total shoulder but spared the rotator cuff.
The procedure we did is virtually unheard of across the United States and only being done in very, very few centers. Ultimately, what it meant to him was a very, very quick recovery and an ability to return back to the activities that he loves to do, including golf. But more importantly, as he might have told you himself, being able to carry his bride over the threshold in a timely fashion.
I had my doubts about it because I didn't want to be in any kind of sling or any kind of pain at my wedding, and it was only 3 months away. And he sat me down and said, look, we have a new procedure that I basically developed, and I can spare your rotator cuff because that's fine, and we can have you up and going at your wedding in 3 months guaranteed.
We offered him a procedure that ultimately allowed him to return back to his activities in a very quick fashion. Basically weeks it took him to get back to doing most of the activities of daily living and golf very shortly after. And this is virtually unheard of in patients that undergo a shoulder replacement the normal way, where there's months and months of rehabilitation and 4 to 6 weeks of mobilization. This is the primary difference between a standard shoulder replacement and doing it through a rotator cuff sparing approach, such as what we did with Chris here at Jupiter Medical Center.
The wedding day was amazing. You wouldn't even have noticed it. I mean, pictures from the wedding, I was up dancing around the dance floor. You wouldn't even know it. No sling. And the fact when we walked into the reception hall and everybody stood up cheering, and I was able just to lift my hands up in the air and just celebrate with everybody and just know that I was pain-free and I could enjoy the moment, because this is a once-in-a-lifetime moment. So I was just happy for that. Just want to say thanks to Dr. Simovich and Jupiter Medical Center for everything that you did for me and my wife to be able to make it in time for my wedding. I appreciate everything you guys did.